and then they're having to be reactive instead of proactive. So local politics is very important. That's really coming up in 2019, at least in Houston, and I think you guys have local races too, right, in Montgomery County?
Yeah.
And so it's important, especially for millennial voters, if we want to be the voice, we have to get out there and do the work.
Okay, that's pretty good. What, if you can tell me, what are some of the issues that really impact your heart that get involved? What are some local issues, if possible?
Well, we have a lot of local issues in Houston. Obviously, we had Hurricane Harvey a couple years ago, and we have flooding issues that are still going on, at least in Houston. I don't know if Montgomery County has flooding issues. Do you guys?
Probably not to that degree.
So we do have some of those issues, at least in Houston. Thank goodness Montgomery County doesn't have them. In Houston, we have, depending who you talk to, some of us feel, I'm one of them, feel that we need new city leadership.
Fair enough. I mean, the flood issues has affected everyone over the last few years. If not, I remember even back as a kid. What was it? Not hurricane, tropical storm Allison.
Yeah.
Were you here in Houston at that time?
I was not.
Oh, it was terrible. But that's Houston is built on a swamp. What can you say? But there is answers to the problems. Maybe a different way to use flood controls, and that's something you guys at least have the conversation about. We'll find out the right answer, but I guess that's another conversation for another day.
It is. Actually, coming up on the ballot, too, the Houston Young Republicans are working with Prop 4, which is about the income state tax and making sure that it will no longer, or has never been, but definitely will never, ever be part of Texas and the financial system.
So when is that coming up?
That'll be coming up November 5th.
So not too far away. I haven't heard much about it myself, but that's a good. I guess that's why it's probably not a good idea to be a guy like me. Stick my head in the sand and don't even know that they're going to vote on the income tax.
Well, and that's why it's important for voters to be educated and research before we're going into the vote.
Now, if I remember right, the Young Republicans, you do a lot, and now it's a different branch you was telling me, but you do a lot of work on college campuses.
Right. So part of Young Republicans, there is a college Young Republican group, unfortunately, past that age, but there is college
you
Republicans.
You don't look a day over 19.
Thank you. You're so nice. Appreciate it. But different college campuses do have Young Republican groups, so it's always great if you're on a college campus, research, see what you have. I think Sam Houston State has one, Stephen F. Austin has one, as well as the University of Houston.
And they bring in guest speakers such as Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, that kind of, that's mainly what I've seen them do on campuses.
Right. I think that group, there's different organizations that pull in Candace Owens, individuals like that. I think that's Turning Point USA that does that, but I'm not too familiar with them.
Well, I mean, still, it's pretty cool to have you guys out here. Is there any issue currently right now that's kind of on your heart that you would like to talk about?
Well, we do have the Texas Young Republican Federation convention coming up in Houston, and it is definitely going to be an event that raises the standards for young Republicans across the United States. We are raising the bar. We're excited for it, and we are going to deliver probably one of the best conventions that young Republicans have ever had.
Well, the best convention. Can you give me a hint on who's coming out?
We do. So ones that we have announced so far, we have Graham Allen. He is with Blaze Media, and if you don't follow Graham, you need to. He's phenomenal. We have Sunny Johnson, who is amazing. She's on Breitbart, and she's on Sirius XM. Okay. We have Margot Roberts, who will be talking about Freedom First Alliance. And
what is the Freedom First Alliance?
It is with young Republican groups here in Houston and Republican Liberty Caucus and Log Cabin Republicans, and he's going to talk about how
it's put in all the different variations of the conservatives, because that's one thing you got to remember. Republicans, if I remember right, there was about 13 different types. At least according to Gavin McGinnis, I was doing my research. There's like 13 different types of young Republicans out there. So it must be hard to get everyone together.
Well, and that's what's great about our party is that we are Big Tent. Everybody's welcome.
Oh, cool. So as you're going to say, before I rudely interrupted you, you had a couple other guests you were going to mention to us.
Well, we can't announce all of our guests because then what would be the surprise? But we do have some big name guests coming, and like I said, we're raising the bar, and it's definitely going to be worth the price. We also have Congressman Dan Crenshaw attending as well.
The local congressman, the local war hero, if I remember right.
Yes, yes.
How much was it? I don't recall you saying.
So if you are a member of the Houston, or not even just Houston Young Republicans, but if you're a young Republican and you are a member of one of the organizations, it's right now $125. And if you're not, then we do have some ticket pricing and different options for you to choose from.
Okay, so you don't have to be a Republican to come out. If you just want to hear maybe a different side of the argument, you welcome them to come. Is that what I'm getting?
Yes, yes. Anybody who would like to buy a ticket is welcome.
Okay, cool. And where is that going to be?
It's going to be in downtown Houston, and we can't announce all the locations yet.
Fair enough. I mean, when it comes to politics, you always have to deal with some security concerns, some crazies. Speaking of a little bit crazy, we had some tragedies over the weekend, and everyone has an answer for it, and who knows which one is the right one. However, hopefully we can put aside all differences and at least talk about, instead of blaming each other, we at least can hopefully talk about how to fix the problem. What is the Young Republicans' platform for the problem of gun control right now?
Well, we follow the Republican Party of Texas and our own Constitution, and the Second Amendment is in our Constitution, and we do believe following the Constitution.
So, Second Amendment meaning you have the right to bear arms. So then, if it's not a problem of guns, then what is the issue for these three individuals who committed the mass shooting? Why do you believe, if you can tell me, you think they decide to take that action, the horrible action?
Well, you can never read someone's mind, and we can make assumptions and say they're mentally ill. I'm not a medical professional, so I can't make that diagnosis. Tragedy, it's really sad, and we really need to focus on making sure that we are kind to each other and that we are careful what we say, and we do pay attention. If you see something, say something.
Okay, fair enough. So where else are we going on today? So we have this great divide at the moment of different parties blaming each other. I mean, I think I heard a meeting on the left, everyone, Donald Trump is a racist. On the right, you guys are all loons. But what's the best way where we can approach to bring people together and at least just talk about the issues and conversations instead of the name calling? Do you have any advice for that?
I agree with you. We really need to stop with the name calling, and I think it's treating people as people. You have opinions, I have opinions, and we may not agree 100%, and that's okay.
But we do agree there's a problem, and we agree to fix it. We just may not have the right solution.
Right, and we need to work together to figure out what is a solution. I mean, we do have the Constitution, which is what our country is bound by, and I think if both sides sit down and figure out and come up with a solution, it's 80-20. We may not agree on 20%, but let's agree on 80%. Fair
enough. So you're telling me that we just need to have civil dialogue such as this one today, bring them into the radio station, have a drink, have a drive, and figure out the problem, right?
Well, a cocktail always makes things better. I'm just kidding. But, just listening to people. And like I said, we don't all have to agree. Now, we do have the Constitution. That is what our country is founded on. It's what makes our country so great. And, liberty goes with that. And that's one thing that we do have. And the Second Amendment does give us that liberty.
So instead of starting with the collective society, saying everyone get together and fix the problem, we should start with the individual and say, reach across the aisle and say, hey, this is the problem. We're not going to agree on it, but at least let's just tell each other our solutions, and let's leave the mudslinging for another day.
Absolutely. I mean, we all are human.
Yeah, and we all make
mistakes, and not saying that any of our legislators, I won't name call and say they made mistakes, but we have to listen, and we have to come to the table. We have to come up with solutions, and we do have some issues. I mean, what if someone would have constantly reported instead of just and didn't follow up, or they did follow up, and we have to see something, say something. We have to listen to each other. We have to treat each other with respect. The golden rule, don't say things to others that you wouldn't want someone to say to you. The things Mama taught us.
Fair enough. So it all goes back to Mama in the end, right?
Right. Mama's not happy, nobody's happy.
Yeah, something like that. I prefer the old saying, happy wife, happy life.
Now,
But-
that's a very true saying.
Yes.
It is. Happy wife, happy life.
Well, it was so awesome to have you here. But so you have the convention coming up. But if someone wants to join the Young Republicans and get involved, how do they get in contact with you or Miss Johnson over there?
Right.
Well, in Montgomery County, we are having monthly meetings again. We had a small hiatus for a little bit, but we are, kind of getting back into it. You can find us on Facebook. It's the Montgomery County Young Republicans. And again, that's where we kind of post the events that we're doing, and we're pretty responsive when it comes to, social media. So
Yeah, you guys have a great club. You really do.
They are awesome as well, I can tell you. They do a lot. I mean, before I even knew, because, I'd come from Florida, and when I was looking for a place to basically to connect with like-minded individuals, I actually found Houston Young Republicans before I found the actual Republican Party of Harris County, because they're doing so much over there.
Okay. And Miss Bridges, I'm going to keep getting your
It's
name
okay.
wrong. Anyway, so where can they find the Houston chapter?
So, first of all, if you're not in Houston or Montgomery County, you can go, but you are in Texas, you can go to tyrf.gop. Now, if you're in Houston, you can go to houstonYR.com.
Okay. Hey, it was so awesome having you out here. I
Thank
very
you.
appreciate
Thank
it,
you
Miss
for having us.
Bridges, Mrs. Johnson. Well, hey, that's all. That's our show for today. I'm Christopher Burns with 91.1 The Boss. I hope everyone out there in North Houston have a great day and get involved. Even if you're not necessarily a Republican, Libertarian, Green Party, go track it down and at least look at the issues, find the answer. Don't be like me, have the head in the sand, don't even know the voting on income tax. Well, you guys have a great day. Signing off. I'll see you next time, North Houston.